What's going on, Dolphins? It is your boy Dillon, and I'm here to make my preview video for the Miami Dolphins versus Los Angeles Rams game tomorrow morning in Hard Rock Stadium. It's a home game for the Dolphins. They're just coming off their bye, so they got to rest up, and you know, they are, I mean, this whole season they have definitely been one of the healthier teams, and that remains the case up to this point, and that has definitely been one of the things that has given them a pretty significant advantage over teams that are clearly better than them, but just teams in general. You know, pretty much every team that they've played this year has been either decimated, like the 49ers and the Jets, or, you know, at least had significant key injuries, like, you know, DJ Chark for the Jags and Matt Milano and Tremaine Edmonds for the Bills, etc., right? But the Rams they do have a few injuries, but they are overall pretty healthy. They did just lose one of their starting safeties, Terrell, what's his name? Terrell Burgess. So that is going to be significant. But other than that, they are pretty healthy. Tyler Higbee, their tight end, one of their tight ends, has a bit of an injury as well. So that is going to be something to keep an eye on, but he is questionable for the game, as is guard Joe Noteboom. And they have listed outside linebacker Ogbanya Okoronkwo out. Terrell Burgess and Jordan Fuller are also out. And I believe, from what I know of the Rams, the big names there are Terrell Burgess and Tyler Higbee to keep an eye on. For the Dolphins, there are, and real quick, by the way, this video is going to be a bit shorter. I have some time constraints, so I'm not going to go into the super in-depth, you know, league standings and stuff like that. I'm just going to kind of go through these injuries and then, you know, give you my take on things. But anyway, so for the Dolphins, there are a bunch of Dolphins players on the injury report. There are 3 players that are ruled out. 2 of those we already know because they're, you know, like on IR. Most of the players, though, other than that, are expected to play. So Austin Jackson is out. Obviously, we know he's on IR. Jamal Perry, though, has been ruled out, so cornerback. So that's going to make our secondary a little bit thin. Davon Godchaux is out with a biceps injury still. We already know that, though, and he's expected to miss pretty much the rest of the season. Adam Shaheen has a shoulder injury, and he's questionable. So, you know, just real quick, I'm not going to get into it, but you guys know that I found his contract extension to be a little, you know, wonky, I guess. Like the timing of it, his, you know, historical production, like none of it makes all that much sense. And then he's also injured right now. So, and like the timing as far as the, you know, point in the season, why not just wait until the off season, right? So like, anyway, it is what it is. They signed him to a 2-year contract extension, but he is questionable with a shoulder injury. Jakeem Grant is questionable with an illness. I mean, I don't even like players having illnesses in this season, whether it's actually COVID or not, just because, like, it's scary, right? Anyway, whatever. It doesn't even matter. But he's questionable with an illness. Bobby McCain is questionable with an ankle. Devontae Parker is questionable with a groin. And, of course, we also know that he's been nursing a hamstring as well. And Kyle Van Noy is questionable with a groin. Although it appears as though all of those players that are questionable should be available for the game. But it is important to keep an eye on because, you know, I mean, all of those are important players for this Dolphins team, and the Rams are going to be a really tough team to beat. Really tough. You know, and Tua, one of his top targets, Devontae Parker, is dealing with now a groin and a hamstring injury. So he's going to be, you know, he's at least not going to be playing at 100%. Bobby McCain, Jakeem Grant, Adam Shaheen, Kyle Van Noy, all those guys are important, let alone Davon Godchaux, Jamal Perry, and Austin Jackson already being out. So it is true, you know, that the Dolphins are overall one of the healthier teams and expect to have pretty much everybody available. And so, again, that has helped them out to this point. Also, they are coming off the bye, and so they were able to get a little bit healthier and get rested up, have a little bit of extra preparation time, sort of. Not really, though, because they were only... I mean, it depends on what perspective you're looking at. From the health perspective, yes, but not really so much from, like, practice, because they're only allowed to have the 1 week of practice. But anyway, so... there is that, and additionally, the Rams are coming off a short week. They did just play on Monday. I did a live stream for that game. And then, they have to travel from LA all the way to Florida as well. So they're going to have a long trip to play this game. It's going to be... East Coast time, so it's going to be a 1 o'clock game, so it's going to be right in the middle of the afternoon. So if it's a hot day, that could, help to play in favor of the Dolphins. So look, going into this game, things that favor the Dolphins, right? The Rams are on a short week and have to travel. The Dolphins are coming off a bye week. They're also one of the healthier teams in the league. I really honestly don't think that Tua is going to help them, not particularly in this game at the very least. And the reason why is for, a lot of reasons. Because, the defense that he's got to play, he's a rookie, it's his first game, blah, blah, blah. There's just a bunch of reasons. But, we'll have to see. Again, I hope he surprises and whatnot, and I hope he goes out and has a stellar day, but I just don't think that's very likely. And it is a home field game, or a home game for the Dolphins, so they do have that little bit of an advantage as well, because, they're going to have fans in the stadium, so there's that. So those are some advantages for sure for the Dolphins. Some disadvantages, though, look, it's... With those advantages, if the officiating is fine, right? Like if it's, pretty even, a non-factor, whatever, and if the Rams play well, they are going to be a super, super tough team to beat. That defense it's going to be the toughest one that we've had. And again, every defense that we've had this season has either had significant injuries, or in the one case of the team that didn't, the New England Patriots at the very beginning of the year, their defense also was very different because of opt-outs, because of they had some injury or no injuries, players, leaving in free agency, opt-outs leaving in free agency, etc., etc. And so the team was way different, right? Anyway, so it's going to be the first time that we're actually going to play a good team that is pretty much all the way healthy. And it's going to be the first time that this offense is really going to have to go up against a defense that's going to have a really formidable pass rush. Aaron Donald, not to mention Michael Brockers and Leonard Floyd, all those guys, right? Like, that's a substantial pass rush that's going to be coming at him, right, at Tua. And then you have on top of that the secondary, led by Jalen Ramsey, of course. And it's a formidable, formidable defense. It's going to be the toughest one that we've had this entire season. Then you throw in the fact that he's a rookie. Then you throw in the fact that he's going to make those rookie mistakes. Then you throw in the fact that he's a left-handed quarterback, and that's going to change the schemes. And it's also going to change the chemistry that the rest of the team has with their quarterback, etc., etc. And so, look, predictions are super, super hard to make, especially this season. It is like absolutely impossible to evaluate. But if I'm keeping it 100% and honest and real, well, first of all, there's a million different ways that this game can play out from a couple different extremes, right? There is some chance that the Dolphins and Tua go out there and shock the world and play fucking stellar and just destroy the Rams. There's also some chance that they don't play well and the Rams destroy the Dolphins, right? And then there's a million ways that it can go out, or that it can play out, in between that. And honestly, so it's really impossible, but my guess is that the Dolphins are not going to win this game. They're going to have to, it's kind of like the Seattle Seahawks game, right? I told you guys, for them to win that game, they have to play exceptional, far better than they have, and they didn't, right? And it's going to be like that, right? So they got to play a superb game. They got to make no mistakes, and they got to find ways to scheme things around Aaron Donald and not, allow him to create a lot of pressure, et cetera, et cetera. So it's going to be a tough game. Ultimately, I think the Dolphins are going to lose it. I don't think Tua's going to have I don't think he's going to have a stellar performance. He might have, an average okay performance at the end of the day, but I think it's too tough an opponent for him to go into his very first NFL start against and be able to come out with success. I think this is the worst opponent that they could have chosen to be his first start. So, but again, I've said it a million times. I do hope that they prove me wrong, and I hope that they go out there and ball out and manage to get a win, because that would be a statement win. That would be a statement win. Now, to be clear, they would still have a long way to go, and they would have to be able to show that they could do it consistently over a long period of time, not just in one game. They have to be able to prove to be able to beat teams that they should beat, right? Like, they should have destroyed the Jets way more than they did. And then they also need to be able to prove to be able to beat the good teams like San Francisco without them being decimated by injuries. So we'll see. But a statement would be made with a win tomorrow against the Rams. So that's really going to be my video for today. Sorry it is a bit shorter and not as in detail, but it is shorter and not super long. So I guess people will probably like that. But anyway, I am going to get out of here. I hope you guys appreciate my perspective. If you do, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the bell if you want to get the alerts. Share my channel and videos with your friends and family. Leave your questions, comments, and concerns down in the comments section. Of course, as always, follow me on Twitter at Dillon Tartaro. And with that, I am out. I'll see y'all soon. Fins up.